You better say your prayers, you flea-bitten varmint. I'm gonna blow you to smithereens.
You do that and I'll kill you.
Alrighty, metalheads. Welcome back to another evening of bullshit with Bob right here on Brutiful Metal Radio. And I apologize for my absence. I had some family issues to take care of, but they've gotten taken care of, and I'll explain more of that tomorrow. You know, I'm planning on doing a little show for the dad. You know, I want to throw out some tunes. The old man, I tell you, he is one tough motherfucker. This guy, on his deathbed, blood pressure 50/20, and he fights back. And still kicking. I mean, that's the old man. He is just tough as fucking nails. Now, in the studio with me tonight, I have Bleed the Freaks. And via phone, I have Will Rule, vocalist, Jamie Knight, bass player, Kenny, I hope I don't fuck your name up here, Urea?
No, Sonny Sweet is the drummer.
I'm sorry?
Sonny is the drummer.
Okay. And I got Mike Roberts on guitar.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Man, you know, the Bay Area seems to be revitalizing with the thrash scene. I spoke, you know, to our mutual friend, Zetro, you know, Steve Souza, from formerly of Exodus and currently of Hatred. And he's seeing a lot of new thrash bands starting to evolve from the ashes, so to speak. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it definitely is. There's been a big change probably just over the last 3 or 4 years. It seems to be kind of going back to the old days, you know, when there was some groove in the music, and that's kind of where we came from, our background, and that's what we're trying to push out there these days. So.
Well, right on, guys. Now, you know, there was a period, specifically late 90s into the early 2000s, there was a resurgence, or maybe not a resurgence, but what a lot of people call rehasher thrash. And it was guys trying to emulate the early 80s thrash sound. Well, what do you think about that?
Well, they're going to do that. They're going to try to make, you know, bring back the popular stuff, whatever was, you know, popular back then. You know, it still comes down to the heart and the soul of the real original guys that started this stuff back from, you know, the time when it began. And the bands are good, they're great. There's some of the feeling in some of the bands. I feel that, you know, they should put out a little more of the feeling. It's just, some bands just do it just to do it. And we're in it for, you know, the heart and the soul of the music. You know, that's what we're in it for.
Right on, guys. And that's what it's all about is, you know, the metal. Trying to be unique in today's, you know, music scene is really difficult with so many bands being out, so many riffs. I mean, there's only 12 notes on the damn, you know, guitar or bass. And there's only so much you can write. And it's hard to find that creativity, but when you add that little aspect of feel and soul, and you put yourself into the music, it tends to define the song better. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, I like to kind of feel like I'm climbing a tree and going out on different branches, and sometimes just going to a place where I consciously I've never been, but let the subconscious take over, and just all of a sudden you find yourself in a unique place. So yeah, just let the music kind of flow through you, let it take you over, you know, go beyond into that other world, the magical place that it can take you. It's beyond, above and beyond anything you could sit down and write on a piece of paper.
Oh, right on. Now, Mike, you and Jamie were both part of the band Misery.
Yes, we were. Yep.
And you said now Bleed the Freaks was formed in 2008. Where did the name Bleed the Freaks come from?
Well, we got it from the Alice in Chains song "Bleed the Freaks." Kind of a little dedication to the singer that we really loved in that band. They really changed the writing and the groove of songs of rock, hard rock, you know, metal stuff. They had a lot of feeling, heart and soul, try to take that on in our music now. You know, that's kind of where we got it.
Now,
And it was always one of our favorite bands too.
Oh, right on. Now, I'll tell you, from what I've listened of Bleed the Freaks, I love you guys' style of music. I love the approach you take. It's thrashy yet melodic. It has aspects of a few different genres mixed in, and something I'm seeing, especially more nowadays with the younger bands coming up, they're taking, instead of trying to make more subgenres like we need that, you know, they're taking from the different subgenres and bringing it back into one label, one metal label. And I think you guys are accomplishing that pretty well, man. You guys are a really fucking tough band. Y'all are tight. But I love the sound you guys have. Are you seeing this happen in the music scene at all?
Somewhat. I think we're probably the most prevalent band in the Bay Area that's playing this style right now. You know, as far as a band that's kind of somewhat established with a CD, and, you know, it's out there doing it like we're doing it. But it's coming around more and more. But I think we're probably the most prevalent in the Bay Area that I know of, anyway. Oh,
right on. Now, how is the Bay Area these days as compared to how it used to be?
The scene's pretty dead. It's hard, you know, gigs are few and far between. There's not many clubs. The city used to be happening. It's like, you know, you gotta be out there with somebody decent to get some good gigs. There's clubs here and there. You just grind it out and do what you gotta do. You know, hopefully climb up the ladder and get on the next level. But, you know, we just do what we do. We're shooting for your company, you know, getting over there and doing some shows and getting spreading the word out to the masses there, buddy.
Right on. Let me see, get back here to my notes. Like I said, guys, and people out there in listener land, y'all gonna have to bear with me. I am so friggin' tired today. But we're gonna do this because the metal calls for it. Now, I wanted to ask you guys, Mike, I'll start with you. What were some of your influences, you know, growing up? What made you want to pick up a guitar and play?
That's a tough one. I got my first thought would be Ted Nugent jumping off the fucking tent staff to the van. You know, it's pretty much a clusterfuck for me, but UFO, Sabbath, and Nugent, I think, you know, a little Southern rock throw in there, pretty much my ass. You know, I can pretty much sum up my influences on this writing. And, you know, Sabbath took it to a different level. They were really, really heavy back then for coming out. But Zeppelin, you know, Jimmy Page and that bow and that song Ain't the Same, that really made me want to play guitar, I gotta tell you.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm starting to see more, you know, like you're saying, like Nugent and these guys, you're starting to see more of the guitar hero kind of guy come back out, and which is really cool because the next generation, you know, the younger kids that are like, you know, 9, 10, 11 are experiencing these new guys like these Sinister Gates and what have you, you know, these shredders, and it'll make them pick up a guitar, and it continues.
Right.
Now, let's see, Will, who was your influence on vocals? Who made you want to pick up a microphone and start singing?
For the old time, I mean, Ozzy was the guy, when I used to read articles, he would always talk about he wasn't a great singer, but, you know, he just was very inspirational to me because I never felt I was a great singer. And just to let the music, I was always a big fan. I was the guy always in the front row. Every show you would ever see out there, you know, Motorhead, Raven, Metallica. I didn't even know Metallica was. I was in the front row. But I was just a fan, and Ozzy was a big inspiration. But also Paul Bailoff from Exodus was one of my biggest influences for the intensity that he had. I really liked Seth Rupert, Joe Elliott was, believe it or not, another influence. And then the new bands that are out there, I really like the guy from Mars Volta. I think he's awesome. I think the guy from Head PD's awesome. You know, those are bands that, to me, they got their own sound, and that you can tell they're doing it from the heart, and not, you know, it's not some formula. It's not like, you know, musical notes written, you know, just like they're going into these unique places. But that's the kind of stuff, you know, like Ozzy was different, you know, Paul Bailoff was very unique and in a very intense way, and he's been very, very inspirational.
You know, whenever you hear Piranha, especially from back in the day, and you hear Paul Bailoff sing it, you knew it was Paul. And the dude had a very, very unique style, or I should say a unique approach to his vocal style. And I really dug that.
Yeah, it was the most, for me, it was the most intense. I can remember I used to play with Paul, the drummer who's now in Cannibal Corpse. We used to play some covers on, and we did a cover of Piranha. And back then, I referred to Exodus as death metal. There was no growl, they didn't have the growling bands back then. It was, the heaviest thing that was going on was, to me, the most intense thing, it was Exodus, yes, Venom, but it wasn't really, to me, Exodus was death metal. And then, of course, Cannibal Corpse and all those guys, they ended up doing what became a whole different genre. They called it death metal. But to me, that's what I always referred to. To me, it was like Metallica was thrash, but Exodus was death metal. And then, now you can't refer to Exodus as death metal because they would get lumped in with the growling band, but they never had that,
Right.
And then it was one of the few bands that when the second, usually a band, if you get a different vocalist, and it's, well, I guess, like Ozzy and Dio, that was awesome too. But I really liked when Steve came in, he did a lot of really excellent stuff as well. So not too many bands that you can think of that, you stick with the second vocalist. You liked it from the get-go, but I think that album, Heaven and Hell from Black Sabbath, was awesome just as well,
And I have to agree with you. Me personally, as far as the Ozzy versus the Dio Sabbath eras, I've always been more fond of the Dio era just because of the darkness that they brought. I felt Dio had that voice that brought them to a darker place. But on the other hand, Ozzy's the original, and he brought them to that like the insane asylum. Anything you hear Ozzy sing, he sounds like he's fucking nuts.
Yeah, so in a different place, man, just totally different, yeah.
Now, you'd mentioned, you were saying that Exodus was almost considered death metal back in the day, and to kind of flesh that out for you, Sepultura, when they first came out, were considered death metal, because they had the growly vocals, especially like Beneath the Remains, that era, they were considered death metal.
I love that. The first Soulfly album and the last Sepultura album, to me, were two of my favorite albums of all time as far as intensity and things that I think, people who like that kind of stuff, they probably could relate. I think we're obviously not quite as aggressive, but there is some parts of our music that's very aggressive like that, but Max was, and he still is, he was always awesome.
Now,
one of the best ever.
let me, let's see, who else we got in the room? Jamie.
Yeah, right here.
Jamie, what were some of your influences early on that made you want to pick up a bass and throw down the thunder that you do?
Well, when I first started out, I was like any other kid, just enamored with the whole rock scene, period, and these rock stars, mainly Metallica, Exodus, obviously AC/DC, all those bands, Scorpion, and then I started going into the heavier stuff. I started into Sepultura a bit, even got into King Diamond, Merciful Fate, some of that stuff, and really, to be honest with you, my two biggest influences was where I drew most of my playing styles from were actually two of my good friends. One of them, Brent Weeks from an underground band called The Pigs. They were a big band in the Bay Area back in the day for a while, and then the other guy would be my late buddy, Brooks Emily Porter, formerly of DRI.
Oh, wow.
I pulled most of my playing styles from them and then kind of contorted into my own. There's no one really in the big band, in a rock star status that really inspired me other than my two good friends. So that's kind of where I kind of stand with my playing, and I actually take it an honor that that I'm kind of carrying on a piece of them, with what they did.
That is awesome, man. That is very awesome. And yeah, that'll work. Sorry, I'm in the middle of getting some coffee delivered to me.
By the secretary.
by my secretary slash all the above. That's Deanna. You guys out there know her as Vix.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey D, let me get that spoon. But yeah, I am in massive need of some coffee. I think we weren't streaming completely when we first came on. So all my listeners out there, let me just say that we had played. Let me get back to the player here. We had played track 1, All Is Lost, and if you didn't hear it, I'm gonna play it again when we go to break. That way, everybody can get a chance to hear what Bleed the Freaks are about. But I'd also mentioned that the reason I'm so damn tired, and I'm just gonna run through this real quick. Tomorrow night I'll be doing a show based on my dad and his act of defiance. I had to go to Louisiana last week, and I had to cancel 3 shows out, but we'll be bringing them people back on. My dad almost died, and we went down there, and the old fucker just, he hunkered down and battled through it, and he's doing pretty good now. But we arrived back here this morning at Brutiful headquarters at 5 a.m. after driving 6 hours and a long fucking week. Had a couple little 3-hour naps here and there today between all the shit I had to pull, and here we are. and thank all you guys there, from Bleed the Freaks for joining us on the show today. We really appreciate it, and thank you all my listeners out there for tuning in. I'm sure I've missed you fuckers out there. Now,
we appreciate you taking your time and getting us on.
Say again?
With all that's going on, we really appreciate you taking some time when you're dealing with I. That's big. Your dad will have some prayers coming from California this evening. I can tell you that much.
Right on. Yeah, the old man, he's a cantankerous old fucker. He give you a little background on the guy. He's from Northeast Mississippi. Backwoods, buddy. I'm talking. They don't even have. I think they got 1 blinking red light in this town. Maybe 3 stop signs.
They don't even have it drafted. It's the house next to the stone.
Exactly.
I got some friends who work for the cable company out there.
Yeah, if you get directions, you ask somebody, hey, I'm looking for so-and-so's house, they're going to say, well, you going down here a little ways, and you find a 3-legged cow, and go make a left right there by the tree that got struck by lightning, and you'll be right at it.
What a place to grow up, Mike, but you got some fond memories there, buddy.
But I'm serious, that's how shit is there. It's very rustic. But, yeah, the old man, he's a character. He's something else, I tell you. He's been giving them nurses hell. He's talking about he's wanting to marry them all. He's going to date them all, take them out dancing when he's at the hospital. And I'm like, well, you go with your bad self, Pop. Now, how has, let's see, now, on your, I'm looking on your main page, and you have Kenny listed on drums. You have a different drummer?
Kenny moved away to pursue a new career and get married.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations to him.
We got a new drummer named Scotty Sweet from the band Ratchet. He has been with us like a month now, and he's kicking it out. He's right here hanging out, and we're looking forward to doing some shows with him.
Well, Scotty, let me talk to you for a second. What was some of your influences coming up make you want to, bash the Skins?
My influences?
Yeah.
I'll just make it short and sweet. I started to play when I was 10, and I grew up playing with my brother that plays guitar, blues guitar, and he taught me a lot, and I'm self-taught, so I pretty much have grown up with like Led Zeppelin and Zappa. Slipknot, and then I moved into Metallica, and then I was kind of pulled into the 80s stuff, and that's where the Scotty Sweet came from. But lately I've been getting into more into thrash and more like even faster stuff, you know, like death metal and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to find the equal ground, and these guys found me, and here I am.
Right on. Yeah, now I'm a musician also. I play guitar, and I've been in a few bands. Nothing major, you know, but I've been playing for the last, I don't even want to say, almost 30 years. But yeah, I draw from a bunch of different, you know, influences myself to create the style that I have now. Because if you listen to me play, you know, some of the people that influenced me initially on was like Randy Rhoads, Tony Iommi, of course. Because I was a child of the late 70s, early 80s. I got to live through the 80s, and it was a great time to live, let me tell you, as far as, you know, metal and the scene and how everything went. But, you know, when I play, I tune, and maybe some of the listeners out there may not understand what I'm talking about, but I know you guys will. I tune in C standard. I like tuning down, and, but when I play, you know, I still have my influences, but you don't really hear it so much come out. They're the ones that were the originators that made me pick it up, but then I kind of made it something my own, kind of like you guys did.
Yep, pretty much. Well, we get a lot of the feeling and the groove thing for our songs comes a lot out of our tuning. We tune down to C sharp, and it just gives that extra set of balls in there. You know, when you're trying to write something the way we're trying to put it out. You know.
Mm-hmm. Now, you know something funny? I tried jamming, how long was that? A few weeks back. I've got a guitar still in standard tuning in A440. And I picked it up for shits and giggles, and I'm like, oh my god, I used to play this.
Dude, yeah, straight E440. I can't believe I used to do all that stuff.
You know, it's a trip down memory lane, because you start wanting to play like Eruption, and you know, some of the old Van Halen shit just seems really light compared to when you're tuning down. And I love the down tuning. I think it gives it a whole different vibe.
Yeah, with me it's weird because I don't want to tune back to that way. We're C sharp and then our low E is tuned to D, so I want to write new stuff every time I pick up my guitar because I don't want to go back to that. You know, so it's kind of weird for me. I just get inspired to come down and plug in. We just got the Blackstar heads. They're going by Blackstar now. They're just crushing the Series 1-200s. They're awesome. And so when I come down here and plug into that with my tuned down guitar, man, it's so easy. It just flows through me. You know, it's no problem.
It's really, you know, I find it so cool because for years I fought tuning down because I was a big fan of Carcass back in the day, and they were some of the first bands to, you know, really get low. And well, even earlier than that, I mean, Sabbath did it on, hell, what was the albums? Like, Master of Reality, Volume 4, they were tuning down. And I fought with it for years and years and years. And then I finally gave in, about 20 years ago, and I haven't looked back. You know, I'll pick up the standard tuning one and play around with it, but for me personally, I get more ideas, and the juices flow better because it gets you like a whole fresh set of ideas.
Yeah, it's a little darker. It's a little darker when you tune into the tuning. You get the chromatics, you know, the minors, and it's a little darker. And it's really cool. It's easier to play than few finger chords, you know, from the top couple strings. It's just a beautiful thing. You know, we just get that low growl. That's what we really think about the whole thing. It's just awesome.
Now, let's see, going back, Bleed the Freaks, you know, like we had already said, was formed in 2008. And, well, what's the reaction been to you guys, man? I mean, you getting some good positive, reviews and feedback from shows?
Yeah, actually, we've got some of our best reviews just recently. Of course, there's always that one, you know, that you don't necessarily always agree with, but, that's what's going to be in anything that you do. You're not always going to please everybody. We're just trying to target the people that are into what we're doing and just try to put that out there to everybody, So we want to say like 90% of the reviews and the shows, people are very positive. That's really good. We've got a couple bad shows with some screamo emo bands that nobody got us. We understand. Right. We understand that, and we should, we just got to pick our shows, be more selective, and we just won't do that again. Because, if they're not going to appreciate us, why be there?
Exactly.
And, but like we said, 90% of the feedback's been really, really great, and we've been doing great interviews, and we appreciate all the help and all of you guys that help us get the word out. We really do appreciate it, bro. Absolutely. Man,
that's what we're here for. We're here for the underground indie artist and for the how can I word this? The majors that are still considered underground, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Like your Testament and your Exodus. I mean, those guys are still considered, the kings of underground. Hell, even Slayer today is still considered the kings of the underground.
Right.
Because, they never made that Cherry Orchard album. You know what I mean? And for those of you who don't know about Cherry Orchards, years back, Celtic Frost, Tom G. Warrior, was pushed by the record label to make a Puss song. Because that was the thing back in the day was, hair bands, MTV. And nowadays on MTV, you look on there, you're going to see, I don't know, these New Jersey Shore, whatever the hell that is. And they don't even play music anymore. But they got pressured into it. Say again?
There's no music in there anymore. We turn on the TV, there's no music channels. That's why there's satellite radio.
Yeah,
and that's why there's stuff like that. There's really no radio stations. It's hard to get played on the local radio stations around, these days. It's so corporate and commercial, and, it's hard to get on there. But get back to work, man. I know that the hair bands, the poster bands came, the Nirvanas and all them, but I gotta tell you, man, some of their bands had a couple good songs out of all their stuff. Uncle Bob's Cabin by Warren, me and Jamie really were gravitated toward that song. We love that song. We hate to admit it, but it was a great song, and they felt it,
Well,
good guitar players. Skid Row had two great guitar players. They wrote heavy songs. They were great musicians. Speaking of, what town are we talking to you from? What town are you in?
Oh, well, what town am I in?
Yeah.
I'm in Daleville, Alabama.
In Alabama, so you're right there in New Orleans, right?
I'm actually where I'm born and raised in was Baton Rouge, which is about 60 miles west of New Orleans. I'm very familiar with New Orleans.
Do you remember, how about Acid Bath? Do you remember Acid Bath?
I know the guys in Acid Bath.
Fucking awesome band, man. That was I played with them a couple times. I played in a band called Pit Slap the Atmosphere. We played a couple of shows with those guys.
Man, those guys...
That is another great singer, man, as far as...
Dax is fucking awesome. He's doing solo acoustic stuff now. And it sounds like Acid Bath, of course, because, he's the voice of Acid Bath. But he still got that twisted poet's mind, and it's really wild shit. But
I don't, but I never heard Acid Bath growing up, so I wouldn't know who they were. They get a demo from a band like Acid Bath. What's the Butterfly? What was that song?
What's that?
The song of the Butterfly. What was that? Do you remember the name of that song?
Oh yeah, Scream of the Butterfly.
Scream of the Butterfly. That song there is like that's like a Stairway to Heaven type of thing.
Oh, it's a very long tune. It's very well thought out, and it's just fucking demented.
If you want to talk about a dark place,
now I'm also acquaintances with a couple of the guys from Exhorder.
Oh, okay, yeah, we've heard of them, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Kyle Thomas, he's the vocalist. He actually, Exhorder broke up. Oh, when was that? 96, I believe it was. They had split up. And they got back together for one reunion show in 99, and then they did it again in 2009, and they got back together and were going to be doing a show. And unfortunately, they lost their bass player, Frankie Sparcello. He passed away. And in between all this, Kyle had went and sang, I think on 2, maybe 3 albums with Alabama Thunder Pussy. And I don't know if you're fans of those guys, but the albums that he sang on are my favorites by them. I mean, they are sick. But he's now singing for the band Trouble.
Oh, that's great. That's some good old friends of ours. They were back in the day. They were buddies from Metallica, you know. Cliff Burton, one of my friends that I grew up with since grammar school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Cliff Burton, one of my great friends. His mother was my Little League teacher. They were buddies with the Trouble guys. Trouble was like one of the underground really good bands back in the day. They were an incredible band. They were I believe they tuned down too.
Now,
they were really good Sabbath, low-end, crunchy, grooving band, you know. That's where we take a lot of our stuff from, is bands from back in the day that were like that. I used to do a cover of Trouble back in the day. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool though. You know, Kyle is singing for Trouble now, and I can't wait. They're finishing up recording right now, and I can't wait till this CD drops. I want to hear what he's going to do with it.
Well, yeah, I can't wait to hear it. It'll probably be an awesome collaboration. You know when it's going to come out?
Say again?
I said it's probably going to be a great collaboration with the new singer. I mean, is that going to be released soon?
I got to check on the release date. I thought they were supposed to release it around December, January time frame, but they may have had some issues and had to push the release date back some. I think they were having an issue. I'm not even sure exactly what it was. Maybe with the bass player or something. But I'm itching. I'm itching to hear that album. I am dying, absolutely dying, for when Hatriot releases on the 25th of January. That's when.
Let's hope we get a copy from our buddies, huh? That'd be nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys want to take a little break and I'll slap on a few tunes?
That's fine. That'd be great, man.
All right, guys, y'all hang tight just a second. Now, all my listeners out there in Brutiful Metal Land, this is the Bullshitting with Bob show right here on Brutiful Metal Radio. We've got Bleed the Freaks in the studio with us this evening via phone. And I'm going to play 4 by these guys. We're going to play All Is Lost, Blind Eye, In the Gutter, and Scarred. So keep it real, keep it metal. We'll be right back in a few, bitches.
Yeah.
Alrighty, welcome back, metalheads. You were listening to Bleed the Freaks. And we are back here live. Got the band right here with us via telephone. How's it going, guys?
Going great. Awesome.
Well, thank you guys again, for taking the time out of your schedule to come talk to us. I know you guys have to leave out pretty soon and go to band practice. But we were talking during the break. You had mentioned that you guys are going to be playing a couple songs on the Playboy channel?
Yeah, on XM Sirius Radio, the Playboy channel. It's channel 102. January 8th, we're scheduled to go down there. We're going to play a few songs acoustically live in the studio, and we're going to kind of do a little bit of an interview and a CD review type thing on the radio. And looking forward to it.
That's really fucking cool. Now,
we're looking forward to kind of a big break to get on the XM stuff. And we got our stuff in off, and we're hopefully to get on there pretty soon too. Hopefully, figure some plans on there. We really like to see Strut's own star get on Octane. I think it should be on there. I think we're deserving of it. Kind of nice and aggressive. I think that's got if you listen to that song, you could probably hear the Paul Baylock influence in there, and then a little bit of I don't know where the Ozzy influence is going to be. When I talk about the influence, but that was an intense song. There was a certain meaning to it, and It's an angry song.
Now,
It's fun to play.
well, during the break, we listened to 4 songs. We had All Is Lost, Blind Eye, In the Gutter, and Scarred. What are some of the topics that you guys write about, and what are some of the influences that create the songs? That
It's very good question. That's an excellent question because the way a lot of the things were when I joined up with these guys, Mike had already had names to the song, and it's funny because like you know the names of the songs for me, I came from a place where I was always singing about positive stuff, and it's like all is lost. To me, it was a challenge for me to put a positive spin on the name All Is Lost. So all is ours or all is lost is what the basis of me coming up with the writing of that particular song was. It was, you know, that particular song was more of a positive thing that I wanted to say. You know, if this is going to be the name of the track, the title track of our album, I want it to be something that has deep meaning and not just, you know, something very shallow. So if you read the lyrics, Mike, what would happen is I made up some of the lyrics, I sent them over to him, he's like, no, change this, change this, change this. You know, like coffin full of rusty nails was definitely a line that funny, but you know, that was awesome. That was a great line right there. What's that? What did it take us to?
Yeah, and switching to Blind Eye, that was really a song about, we started off with me, I had the concept of the government, you know, you never can get away. There's so much surveillance now these days, you can't get away with doing anything. And then we built on the band, it ended up changing to be about, you know, watching over your kids and your family and your friends, that people you love, and it was really watching over us, ourselves, you know. To me, the Blind Eye, you know, was like the song that hit me on the album that told me, you know, and I got my daughter at the beginning of that talking, you know, I was sure you got your kids on her too, but maybe that's now.
That was really cool because the way it would be, I'd be going in my studio at my house, and my 4-year-old and my 3-year-old at the time, 3 and 4 years old, were, you know, wanting me to hang out with them at the very end of the night. They're going to sleep, so I lay down with them for a while. Don't worry, I'm always watching over you, you know.
So they picked up the song, speaking of Bill Clinton, they picked up the song, you know, In the Gutter, Punches in the Face, and that came from one of Bill's fighting, getting punched in the face at some drunken night, not remembering much. And so the song started out with Punch in the Face, it was called In the Gutter, and we, you know, Punch in the Face, about being kicked down, you know, the song turned into about being kicked down and put down and getting back up and not giving up.
The wake-up song. You know, it's like you get, you know, sometimes you get knocked down, you got to get back up. You know,
you damn straight.
What's the difference? There's a sign saying something and coming,
get you out of the gutter.
Right.
And you know, that whole philosophy right there, in my opinion, is what really defines metalheads. Because we are the ones that get knocked down all the time, and we constantly get back up, and we throw the finger right in your eye.
Yeah. If you're metal, you're metal, man. There's no, you ain't changing. I ever used to think about that when I was younger. You know, what kind of music am I going to listen to? You know, it's the same, man. You're metal, man. You know.
You know, it's funny. I'm 43 now. Still have long hair. Still pierced like a motherfucker. Tatted, and. You know, I got a kid, my oldest kid, she's, you know, about to turn 20, about to give me my first grandson, which I'm not looking forward to. I am, but I'm not. I mean, I still feel like I'm too young to be a granddad, but, you know, I see my family and friends, and I'll show up, you know, and I'll be wearing a metal shirt, you know, Slayer or whoever, and they're like, wow, aren't you going to grow out of that? And I'm like, well, excuse me, aren't you going to grow out of that fucking cowboy hat and them boots? Didn't somebody tell you 1860s called, said they want their fucking look back? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the next time that happens, I want you to be wearing a Bleed the Freak t-shirt.
Oh, hell yes.
doing?
Well, get with us and I'll get you the address. I will sure sport that thing. I'll take a picture and post it on your page.
Yeah, we'll send you some merch.
Brutiful Metal Radio proudly supports you guys.
Right on. We really appreciate it. We couldn't run without all of you guys and the band. Pretty bossy, man.
Now I want to put this out there that Vixen, she is so awesome. She's like our backbone here, man. She's been throwing up all kind of links for you guys. We have bleedthefreaks.com, facebook.com, bleedthefreaksofficial, reverbnation.com/bleedthefreaks. You guys are on Twitter, twitter.com/bleedthefreaks, and you guys are on MySpace also, Bleed the Freaks Official. Now, for those of you that aren't in the chat room that are out there, go check these guys out. Purchase the album. Support your starving artists, because ramen noodles really suck after a while.
Yeah, we work our way through it. We want to say thanks to Chuck, our publicist, for getting us all social media stuff up and going, man. And the guys from Rockers Creek, we're going to be doing a collaboration with them on a song called Swampwood here pretty soon.
Oh, cool.
We wrote it didn't make the album, but it was a little more back to our Southern rock stuff, and we've had it sitting ready to go, mixed, ready to go. We sent it over to we just sent it over to them, and they're going to be working on some lyrics with us going back and forth. We do a little collaboration with us. It's really fantastic.
It's kind of funny. You mentioned sending me a shirt, and now I've got Vixen and Sarah both showing the mad faces in the chat room.
We'll get them girly ones out too, no problem.
Well, there you go, girls.
Don't put aside. Let us know aside. Yeah, hit us up on the message on Facebook. Let us know aside.
Sure will. Now, I'm gonna ask you guys a few off the wall questions and see. Growing up, what were some of you guys' favorite cartoon characters?
My favorite, I'll tell you right now, my number one favorite was the guy on the Daffy Duck, and if anybody can give me this video clip, I'll send you a shirt and a CD. If you can get me the one where Daffy Duck's running through the train, and the guy, the little ghoul guy, is going, Black Jacks, gun bullets.
Well, you heard that right out there in listener land. You found him that clip.
Gosh, I just like the whole cartoons, to be honest. You didn't really have a favorite, I guess. Maybe the Martian.
Oh, yeah, Marvin the Martian?
That guy was cool.
My laser X2R rocket. That dude was something else. Now, my personal favorite was always Bugs Bunny.
What was that?
Well, I said my personal favorite was always Bugs Bunny. He was such a dick.
Yeah, the whole Looney Tunes, man.
Yeah, anything Looney Tunes really was awesome.
Oh, Yosemite Sam. Yosemite Sam was a big one, too. I really liked Yosemite Sam.
Oh, this is one that I always forget about. I don't know what the age bracket we're dealing with here, but there was a show I watched when I was a kid called Hong Kong Phooey.
Yeah, awesome show.
Oh, yeah.
He was the Basset Hound. Yeah.
Yeah. That dude was fucking cool.
Great show. Underdog was really big, too, back then. Underdog was a big thing, too.
Oh, hell yes he was.
Space Ghost.
Like Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, well, but we were into, like, Speed Racer, Racer X. That was the shit back then.
It was. And that was really early Japanimation. That was really early Japanimation, and I mean, it was hard to find Speed Racer, but everybody loved X Racer.
Oh yeah.
He was so mysterious, and he was like the cool guy. He shows up, whip ass, and leave. Now, I've got to ask you guys. Every band has one. Who is the prankster of Bleed the Freaks?
Who's the prankster?
Scotty's learning that everybody that we know are never called by their actual birth name. We give them names by so they did or how they look or act or something, and he's learning his new nicknames now.
I thought we most likely to cross the line.
We haven't spent extended time on the road together yet, so we don't really know that. But we're all about even on the ribbon and the shuffle, like JD said. We're all pretty much pranksters and pot clowns. It's pretty fitting in this band for everybody to be the same on that level.
If anybody here to we'd rather, I think the thing is you'd rather be, if you're going to be ever feeling regret anyway, you regret the things that you, because I would rather regret the things that I did do than anything I didn't.
We're not calling on other people besides ourselves. We're more into getting other guys, We'll see how they're doing on the road.
Now, is there any funny stories from the road that you could share with us?
That's a tough one.
They jump in acid and
I've gotten told not to come back to a couple hotels before.
Right on.
Actually, a good one was some friends were over making some marijuana butter, and it was a little bit of cooking it on the stove, and a little bit of the juice fell off right on Jamie's big toe and burned it. A little bit of the butter was scalding hot, and it was pretty much laugh for a 2-hour thing. Somebody just came and you're laughing at the same time. It was pretty cool stuff. Burnt a hole in it. Making cookies, a little mishap in the kitchen. Having some fun, after rehearsal. Are you there?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was getting violated by one of the animals over here. The dog was all up on my lap trying to lick my face, and I'm trying to get her off. Like, go away. It's like Wild Kingdom in our house, dude. We've got like 4 dogs in here.
Nice. Beautiful day.
Yeah, we got 2 small ones and 2 big ones. Of course, the 2 small ones think they run the house.
Yeah.
And shitloads of cats. If I let Deanna and Buffy, my wife, have their way in this house, man, it would be like 2 cat ladies living here.
Cat hoarders.
Oh yeah, it would be like hoarders. Now, I know, like I said, I know you guys are on a pretty tight schedule. Y'all need to go to band practice. I want to throw out a few more things. Of course, we told everybody where they can find the album, where they can find you guys. What kind of upcoming shows you got? I know you got the Sirius Satellite Playboy Channel show, and what other shows you guys have coming up?
We're getting ready to do a show at a place in Livermore called Pine Street, December 14th. That's a Friday night. We're jamming there, and then we're booking a show in Reno or something coming up too in January. I think like the 2nd or 3rd weekend of January, we're scheduled to play in the Knitting Factory in Reno.
Oh wow! Reno's a fucking awesome city.
Yeah, we're getting over to Europe, buddy. That's our main goal this next year, getting over there. That's just we get over there, do some festival stuff. We want to do the same thing. We want to get over there and rock out. But I think the fans over there are a little more appreciative, It's a little more, like it used to be here or there is what's fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap her on up. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. And you guys are always welcome back if before y'all head out on tour. If y'all want to come back and promote it, please do.
Absolutely. Maybe we find ourselves out in Louisiana, we'll stop by.
Oh hell yeah, man! I'll make you guys a gumbo.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to go gator hunting.
Well, I might be able to find you a tour to go on with that. I don't think I'll go gator hunting. It's funny because out here where I work at, you know, I have a day job out here, and sometimes when we're slow, we'll watch TV, and of course, Swamp People would be on. And all these guys here, they ask me, "This is what you do back home in Louisiana?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, man, everybody's got a fucking bayou in their backyard. Everybody goes gator hunting." Yeah, you know, I mean, give me a fucking break. I see a gator, dude, I'm going the opposite direction.
Right.
Yeah, fuck them.
He's one of the big hunters. He likes to do that kind of shit.
Is it legal to gator hunt, or is it like seasons of the year that you can gator hunt?
Now, if you guys would stay on the phone just for a second, I'm going to pop up your other 4 songs. Let me get back to the player here. Let's see. We're going to be playing Crush My Groove, Dump Truck, Torn Between, and Broken. And this is by Bleed the Freaks. So, metalheads out there, stay tuned in. I've got lots more metal coming your way. This is the Bullshitting with Bob show right here on Brutiful Metal Radio, and you've been in the studio with us with Bleed the Freaks. And thank you guys so much for taking the time out and, again, coming and talking with us. And thank all of you listeners out there for tuning in.
Thank you for taking your time with all that you've been through, too. We appreciate it.
Yeah. That's prayerfully coming for your dad.
Oh, I really appreciate that, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will pass the word along to the old man. He will enjoy hearing it. But here we go, guys. I got Crush My Groove coming up at you right in your eye, bitches. Start the fucking mosh pit now.